Alright, hello. Welcome back to I Might Be Wrong MMA. Sorry for not uploading recently, I've had a lot to do. But we're back now. We're going to be back on schedule. There's probably going to be one more video before Saturday's pay-per-view. Either that or I'll just do an instant recap. Getting straight into it. UFC Shanghai featuring Johnny Walker versus Mingyang. Who do I think wins this? I guess we'll have to see, but let me just tell you. I'm tired of seeing Johnny Walker fight big punchers. It's like, they know what they're doing to him. Give him Brenson Ribeiro, for God's sake, man. But moving on. First fight of the night, we're going to get straight into it. Urun Satibaldiev versus DR. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce that. But I'm going to go with Satibaldiev. I think he is more well-rounded. I think if he stays on the feet, it's 50-50. But I see Satibaldiev just taking him down and getting the submission. That seems to be DR's only real weakness so far. So I see him getting that. So I'm going to go Satibaldiev either KO with ground and pound or a submission, rounds 1 or 2. But moving on. Xiaolong versus Su Young Yu. I went back and looked at each one of these guys' records because I wasn't really familiar with either of them, to be honest. But from the research I've done, I've watched all the last 5 fights. I'm going to go Xiaolong. I think he can get the finish here. I think Su Young Yu is good, but I can see Xiaolong. He's the taller man, has the longer reach. I can see him getting the finish here over Su Young Yu. I'm going to go Xiaolong, knockout or submission probably. Probably more likely a knockout, but knockout round 2 or 3. Moving on. Yija versus Weston Wilson. This is a clear, easy win for Yija. I don't know why Weston Wilson took this fight. He should have took someone easier. He's 6'1" at featherweight. Very almost Sean Woodson-esque. But another inch and he probably wouldn't be human anymore. I'm going to go Yija. I think he'll probably... let me just double check again. He'd probably get his finish. I see either knockout submission rounds 1 or 2. He can submit him, but I think Wilson's strength is submissions, but he has been submitted before. I can see Yija locking in something like a really tight submission. Wilson somehow gets out of it and then just ground and pound. So something like that, rounds 1 or 2. So moving on. I'm going Yija, knockout submission rounds 1 or 2. Moving on. This is a tricky one. This is a really tricky one. Because if this was prime Michel Pereira, I would go him easily. But that last fight against Abus Magomedov, he literally looked like he was stuck in the mud with his footwork. Like, usually he's jumping around doing backflips and all. I don't know if I can trust it anymore. And Kyle Daukaus is not a pushover. Even though this is short notice, he's not a pushover. Alright? Alright, I hate pop-ups, man. Thank whoever done that. Get the fuck off my screen. Michel Pereira, he's very, very... I hate pop-ups like that. Okay, I'm not going to bother re-recording this, but... this is the last time I'm going to pick Michel Pereira. Should be an easy win for him. But I don't know. His last fight was very concerning. He looked genuinely stuck in the mud. I'm going to go Michel Pereira, late stoppage or decision. He's training with Eric Nixick. He's going to just jab at range and not do anything of substance to try to finish a fight until the last round. We've seen it with Dan Ige. We've seen it with Sean Strickland. They just play it safe until the last round when they're actually winning. And they're like, okay, you can go for it. Or they're desperately losing. They're like, please do something, man. I hate Eric Nixick. I fucking hate the way he coaches fighters. But moving on. He ruins fighters. He absolutely ruins them. Ranju versus Austin... Oh, Michel Pereira decision on late stoppage. Ranju versus Austin Hubbard. This is Austin Hubbard in his last fight did pretty well against Markel Medeiros. He got a split decision, I think. I don't know why that was split. I thought that was very clearly Markel Medeiros. I don't know. That's just what the Tapology says. I watched it live. I don't remember it being a split decision, but apparently it was. I might have just left the room after the fight ended because I knew Medeiros won that. But Ranju, I see him getting this one done pretty easily. I'm going to go Ranju knockout rounds 2 or 3. The only real chance I see for Austin Hubbard is him like pulling guard and trying to attempt a triangle, but I think Ranju would be too smart for that. I think a lot of people are counting Ranju out in the lightweight division. You have to remember, he's about 25, borderline 26. He's nowhere near his prime yet. He's like about 3 years to his prime, and he's actually doing pretty well. This is a sleeper guy. He might be top 10 lightweight in like a year or two. People forget, man. But I'm going Ranju knockout rounds 2 or 3. Moving on. This is a very tricky fight to break down. And I know a lot of people are going, oh, Loner Kavanagh, guys. Let's fucking go Loner Kavanagh, guys. Charles Johnson knocked out Joshua Van, who's proven to have a really good chin. Loner Kavanagh relies on his chin quite a lot. He relies on his chin quite a lot, and that concerns me. Like, I'm not even joking. In his last fight, he was headbutting punches. This is like, if Kavanagh does this really well, I'm going to pick Kavanagh. Purely because I believe in him, and I think he really is, for like a fella with only 9 fights, he really is a really impressive fighter. And I think he will improve, but if he relies on his chin this fight, I see Johnson chinning him. But I think he'll learn. I don't think he'll just headbutt punches again. But if he does, he's getting knocked the fuck out. But moving on. But I'm going to go Loner Kavanagh rounds 2 or 3 knockout. Like some spin shit or something. Moving on. Gage Young versus Maheshate. I don't know. Maheshate? I don't know. A lot of people are counting Gage Young out. Let me just see the odds again. And by the way, I want to say, I don't condone gambling, guys. For YouTube and all. On the UFC website decides to fuck up the minute I say that. Gage Young. This is like, people are saying this is a pretty 50-50 fight. I don't think so. If this goes to decision, I could see them leaning towards the hometown boy. But just overall skill-wise, I'm going to go Gage Young. Probably knockout or submission rounds 2 or 3. His last fight was against, believe it or not, like pun intended, Evan Elder. You know, it's so funny. He kind of got styled on that fight. It wasn't really a styled on, it was 2-1, clear. But he lost that fight. But people forget, man. That was his training partner that taught him everything he knew. Like, of course he couldn't know all his tricks. He's going up against someone now that doesn't know much of his tricks. I'm gonna go Gage Young to get the knockout or submission rounds 2 or 3. I can see him getting a finish here. He is very good. He's very good, but I don't know why he accepted that fight against his own coach / training partner. Strange. But heading into the main card. Nuraji versus Kiefer Crosby. I wasn't going to even bother pronouncing that first name. Taya Lake? I don't know. Taya Lake Nuraji. I'm going to go Taya Lake Nuraji, probably knockout rounds 1 or 2. I really wanted to pick the Irish fella because I'm Irish, but I can't. He's good sometimes, but Nuraji's on a tear right now. I see him knocking out Crosby within 2 rounds. As sad as it is to say for me, but I don't want to be biased in any of my picks. But moving on, I'm going to go Nuraji knockouts round 1 or 2. Now, I have a very interesting opinion on this fight. But I was very shocked when I learned Kevin Borjas was the underdog for this fight. I don't agree with this. Sumu Dereji in his last fight fought Mitch Raposo. He got a unanimous decision victory. And this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I don't think he won that fight. I don't think he won that fight. I had it almost 2-1 Mitch Raposo. I thought the grappling would have done it for him, but no. Maybe I might be coping, I don't know. But I didn't, when I watched it live, I didn't think he won that fight. I'm going to go Kevin Borjas KO rounds 2 or 3. Or a decision. But don't be surprised if it's any way close to give it to Sumo Dereji. I'm going to go Kevin Borjas, probably to knock him out. Rounds 2 or 3. But moving on. Now, Sergei Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortes Acosta. I always pick against Waldo Cortes Acosta, and he always proves me wrong. But I'm not going to pick him tonight because I think he's met his match, finally. Sergei Pavlovich, I thought I mispronounced it there, but then I realized I got it right. He just hits hard, but in his last few fights, he's been a decision fighter. And I think that was just him getting his confidence back. I think he'll go for it here. If fucking Sergei Spivak can rock Cortes Acosta, Pavlovich puts him out cold. I just need Pavlovich to believe in himself. Like, ever since the Tom Aspinall loss, he's, like, in limbo right now. He's just been trying to get his confidence back. And I think with that win last time against Rosenstrike, he's not a pushover. And he did knock down Rosenstrike in the third round. I think his confidence is back. I could see Pavlovich knocking out Cortes Acosta rounds 2 or 3. But Cortes Acosta is very good, but I think he's met his match here. So I'm going to go Pavlovich knockout round 2 or 3, or maybe a decision. But moving on. Now, this is a very interesting fight, and not a lot of people would say this, but this fight was changed to 5 rounds, and I think that actually benefits Ortega. Because Sterling isn't really known for being a big finisher. He's more of a, like, kind of lay and get points, like, akin to what Hamzat did to Dreykus, except more dominating strikes and submission attempts. No offense to Shemaev, but I just thought that was a very weird performance. Not bad performance, it was dominating. But weird, he could have done a lot more, but he didn't. But he played it safe. I have opinions on that. It wasn't boring, it was just less, why isn't he going for the finish, you know? But Sterling, I don't know who here, because Sterling had a really competitive fight with Mosar, who everyone says is probably one of the best in the division right now. Do I think Ortega, coming off a loss to Lopez, is in a state right now where he can beat a former champion and arguably nearly go of a division below? I'm going to go Sterling. I do think he'll get this one done. I think he'll get a late finish, like rounds 4 or 5. But Ortega, I can see him getting a scare where he locks up like a triangle or something on Sterling and like it almost makes Sterling tap, but he gets out of it. I can see Sterling getting this one done. I'm going to go late stoppage rounds. We'll say 3 or 4. We'll say 3 or 4 knockout or submission. But moving on. Now, Johnny Walker versus Zhang Mingyang. This is a very confusing fight for me. I don't know why Johnny Walker hasn't just moved up to heavyweight at this point. I know he's letting his brother rule heavyweight, but dear God, man, you're taller than your brother. Dear God. I don't know if I can count on Johnny Walker, because if he had a chin, he easily wins this fight, in my opinion. Zhang Mingyang is not that good. I'm being honest. Zhang Mingyang, you've all been gaslit by the UFC. Zhang Mingyang is not that good. He's mediocre. He's just been fighting really chinny people recently. And now they're giving him Johnny Walker, who's been cartoonishly knocked out multiple times and has been proven to have 0 chin. The obvious pick is Zhang Mingyang, knockout rounds 1 or 2. But I just want to get this apart. Like, this is something I need to say. If Johnny Walker had a slightly better chin, where he could take 1 or 2 maybe haymakers before getting put out cold, he wins this fight easily. But Zhang Mingyang is just going to catch him, and Johnny Walker's going to get cartoonishly knocked out. I'm sick of seeing Johnny Walker get cartoonishly knocked out, and I think it's the weight cut, because he's 6'6" and he's not even skinny. He's fairly built, you know. He's not like an Israel Adesanya, like really tall for division. He's actually built. I think it's the weight cut that's ruining Johnny Walker's chin, and it upsets me to see they're feeding him to Zhang Mingyang, because they know what they're doing. This is a Shanghai card, you know, and I will not be surprised if Zhang Mingyang wins this fight. They're going to give him Jamal Hill. Do not be surprised if they do that. I can really see them doing that. But I'm just going to go Zhang Mingyang, probably rounds 1 or 2 knockout. I don't even see this going to the second round. Johnny Walker's going to get like some like jabs going. He's going to be doing well. Probably starts dancing a little bit. Then Shang's going to catch him. That's my prediction. So that's been my predictions for this card, guys. This is on very early in the morning for me, so I'll have a reaction video probably immediately within the hour after the card is finished. But let me know what you guys think. It's been fun. See ya.